SDKs, which is complicated by CKB's abstract nature. Now, comparing this to the work required in other chains, this is more of a social lift than technical. It is an immense amount of work, but rather this is said to demonstrate that the work required in this endeavor is social rather than technical. Of course, there's plenty of engineering to be done, and whether this effort is successful or not is truly dependent on social growth. The technical underpinnings of the system are sound, and we can confidently stand on them. And when I see this growing social component of the project, all the people here, and those who will watch this stream, I feel confidence that these issues of abstractions, design patterns, and tooling will be solved. Now, everyone is coming here for the same reason, I think, because they see potential. Now, most would feel that it's potential that others are not seeing, but with each passing day, they see more people seeing it. Now, it's understandable that most people are not like this guy, just being crazy on their own. And in a lot of ways, people today, in relation to CKB, are pursuing this crazy idea that has potential and pursues an entirely different problem than everything else that they see in this industry. Now, things that are truly innovative, they take a long time to show what they were destined to do the entire time. It's not something that's going to make sense. It's going to look crazy. It may look stupid. It's going to be panned and disregarded by critics. Now, in Apple's case, most of my time using computers, Apple was this weird niche thing for creative types. It's nothing that I felt would ever have broad relevance. I just used Windows and it did what computers do. So innovation by its nature is not going to be doing the things that people would agree you're supposed to be doing. It's going to twist your brain, especially when you have ups and downs over the course of years. And this narrative potential, will get doubted along the way. It's healthy, honestly. We should be questioning things to get better answers. And, in my case, I've gone through more periods of doubt about CKB than I can count, but I've always arrived at the same conclusion, that the path we are pursuing is sound and, in my opinion, has the best chance of surviving this inevitable washout of innovation that comes from the technical front just because of network effects, and also the regulatory front. And the thing that has strengthened my conviction the most is other people seeing the same thing, continuing to see these proof points of the ideas that we started with being ideas other people are pursuing. Now, the challenge we wrestle with is seeing this potential and always feeling like it's down the road. It's going to show itself in small steps. Now, CKB PW, which allowed people to use Ethereum wallets since almost launch, and .bit, joy.id, these are all just little glimpses of what CKB can do. We see this in the Community Fund DAO. I see people showing up and submitting proposals, which is great. We have a new Reddit that's born. Big shout out to Lee and Kima for building that. The knowledge base as well. Huge shout out to Stefan for a lot of this work, and also to Phil and Kima and Alejandro, who have also contributed articles. Great thing about this site is that it's completely open to contribution. You can just make a pull request on GitHub. You can submit any articles you want to add. You can add guides, add information, and this is getting traction. If you search for blockchain payment channels, this is the first result to land. Same thing, state bloat. We're not number one here, but 2 and 3. So that's not bad. Risk 5 in blockchain on YouTube will get you 2 videos about Nervos. Now, Apple is now the most valuable company in the world. And in part, that's due to their operational excellence of their team. But in my opinion, it's really about the vision that began Apple that has made it success. They started out with a simple statement to change the way human beings interact with computers. It was a vision of a very different world and vastly expanding the capabilities of people. And it took decades of ups and downs to realize that. But eventually, everything about our world changed as a result. Now, I'm no Steve Jobs. If any of you are, I look forward to using your products. However, I do believe in this community, we do share some sentiments for how the world can be different and our desired path to get there. And with CKB, we know, all of the familiar tropes about blockchains, that we want things to be secure and decentralized and scalable. But I do feel like CKB is uncompromising in its nature to get there. And yeah, I'm syncing a node right now. If you watch a node sync, I do believe there's something special about the way CKB is built and the inspiration it takes from Bitcoin. And these are things that, in my experience, are rather uncommon in this industry. And I think there's something here that's bigger than technology. It's about people. And coming here to get together today, I'm glad that we can share all this and continue to pursue this vision. And yeah, I look forward to going through all this with you guys today. Actually going to kill my screen share now and talk about the program. Which I do need to pull up, so give me 1 second. So next we'll have Jan talk, then we'll have some Q&A, and we have a community section coming up, then also some talk about the ecosystem. We may have a special guest from outside the ecosystem. We'll have some mining pools, and we'll have a final message from Kevin to take us away. Yeah, I guess with that, I should pass the mic over to Jan. Yes, Jan, start streaming your screen whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. I'm Jan, and I believe you are as excited as me now. Can't wait to see the first CKB halving. We've been waiting this moment for 4 years, and I think we accomplished and learned a lot in these 4 years. And it seems to be a good time to recall CKB's origin. Why CKB? What exactly is the goal of CKB? What is the core value it creates? And what's the crazy things Matt mentioned, right? What we are doing. CKB began by extending Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin valuable? Because Bitcoin is a public owned store of value available to everyone at any time. And that's a unprecedented feat, right? Why and then why is CKB valuable? Because CKB is a public-owned platform available to everyone at any time, and that's what we got by improving POW and UTXO. And while I was thinking what I should talk on the party, the phrase perpetual availability hit me. And I think that's what we are working on. That's what we are working for. Let me explain. Most of the applications or services we use today have a very limited lifespan and user base. Centralized application operators can decide whether to refuse service upgrades for certain users or when to stop providing services to everyone, to someone and everyone. This uncertainty is the fundamental reason that hinders humanity from fully entering the digital society, in my opinion. If we are going to move our lives onto some kind of digital infrastructure, then this infrastructure must be highly reliable and immune from manipulation, just like physical laws, right? And Bitcoin is a turning point. It's the first infrastructure in the digital world to achieve plausible perpetual availability. It is not controlled by anyone, can be used by anyone, and is always online. It seems that it will be able to exist indefinitely in the future. And after more than a decade of development, people are increasingly convinced that it is completely different from Apple or Facebook. And CKB also wants to achieve this and provide more. We want to provide a platform that is not controlled by anyone, that can be used by anyone. No matter you are a boy or girl or dog or fridge or GPT, that is always online and can exist indefinitely in the future. This platform will allow developers to build applications that are not controlled by anyone, can be used by anyone, are always online, and can exist indefinitely in the future. It should be obvious that CKB's many design choices are pointing to this goal. For example, why POW? Why proof of work? Because only POW leads to true permissionless, which means it's available to everyone. POW leads to true censorship resistance, which means no one can prevent you from accessing service sometime later. Also because POW prefers availability over consistency, not consistency over availability. If you are familiar with distributed system jargon, consistency means all nodes agree to the same result, and availability means the network are able to provide service. And there's a CAP theorem says basically you can guarantee both consistency and availability. You have to choose one. And POW choose availability. It's quite different from all those like BFT-based POS algorithms. The finality latency in POW is a deliberate choice because we want availability. And for example, why primary issuance and secondary issuance? Why are there two issuance in CKB? Because only by doing that, we can build a sustainable platform that can serve forever, providing perpetual available services. So the platform can live forever. Why the issuance curve must be hard-coded in protocol? Because that's the only way to prevent human tampering. Why make full node runnable to everyone? Besides make sure the blockchain is permissionlessly verifiable, it also because the ultimate safety net for perpetual availability relies on oneself. In worst case scenarios, one could at least run their own node for self-service. And why CKB VM has versions? I think you can find versions in other blockchains. It's because we want to guarantee that the semantics of deployed code, of deployed contract won't change even after hard forks. So CKB cares about whether the usability in worst case scenarios. So CKB cares about the usability in worst case scenarios, not average case usability. Because Web2 technology has already done well with average case usability in normal circumstances. What's missing in digital world is worst case usability or usability in extreme scenarios, like large scale disconnections or censorship. So as human society becomes increasingly digitalized, extreme scenario usability will become more important. Complete digitalization of human society depends on technologies capable of solving these later types of demands, of later types usability. Otherwise, there would be no safety guard of individual rights, thus no peace of mind. At Nervos, we hope to build an ecosystem like this. Its foundation lies in P2P and self-service thinking, which maintains functionality even under extreme conditions. Although we may experience poorer performance in such conditions. And to provide perpetual service for users, Built upon this are supplementary protocols and tools that improve average case usability, which means you may get better performance on these upper layers. Such a network can not only provide perpetual service, but also offer good user experience in most cases, and more importantly, it should still work in worst case scenarios. And perhaps, I guess, 99% of daily scenarios only require technology that can be used in normal environments, while only 1% need technology that can work under extreme conditions. However, this 1% is precisely where the real value of crypto lies. That's why we need crypto. That's why Web2 is not enough. What we are building is the safety net for people living digitally. And I think the problem with Ethereum and most blockchains today is they give up on this 1%. Tasks will become easier, but also become less valuable because Web2 can do what you can do. This single distinction, this this difference between CKB and other blockchains renders any comparison between CKB and others nonsense, in my opinion. Because if you don't care about those 1% really important and worst case scenarios, then it's different. Everything's different. And Bitcoin insists on this 1% scenarios. Bitcoin is capable of being a store of value and payment. But we need support for more types of assets, services, and applications. We need to extend perpetual SOV or money to perpetual platform. So looking at the problem from the perpetual availability angle can provide some useful insights. For example, how should CKB application stack be designed so that developers can more easily create applications that are perpetual available? That's an interesting question. We are still trying to answer that. CKB can permanently store some key data and code, but we also need to ensure that there are no issues within the P2P layer, for example, and that it integrates with distributed storage like IPFS or BitTorrent, etc. The crypto industry has undergone significant changes in the past 4 years, but the principles upheld by CKB have, I think, have not only remained relevant, but also shine even brighter. More and more people started to share our values like permissionless, sustainability, interoperability, a multi-chain world, and found inspiration in CKB designs like layered architecture, abstraction, open transaction, or someone called intent. We can even see a returning wave of UTXO. So the 4 years development gave us a solid foundation, a foundation which has the potential to become a perpetual platform for perpetual applications. The value of applications that can be available forever should be self-evident. And creating technology capable of achieving this goal presents a huge challenge, but also exciting opportunities. The first 4 years have been a long journey, and I believe it is just the beginning of an even longer and more exciting one. That's all. Thank you.
Now we are going to do a community Q&A. I asked YouTube for their questions. Guys in the Discord, please drop your questions. Matt, if you can rejoin the stage with Jan.
Yeah, I'm up. I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. All right, so let's. I asked Lee and Jordan to collect questions on YouTube, so they will come as they come. As of right now, anyone in the audience, I guess, please raise your hand or drop your question in the chat if you have any questions around anything that either of the speakers have said. Now would be the time.
I'll start by addressing the most common question about the halving, which I've been just so confused by, but I think is good for us to experience, is that the CKB supply is not halving as a result of this event. No one's holdings are being cut in half. Yeah, I mean, as Jan said, we take inspiration from Bitcoin, and yeah, Bitcoin was created a long time ago, and there have been a lot of meme coins that have been created since then. And yeah, the somebody asked about the supply after the halving. I dropped the sheet in chat that lays out the CKB supply for the next 100 years. As Jan said, the issuance schedule is known, and this is a key thing, in terms of governance of the project. It's worked for Bitcoin that nothing is going to change the issuance schedule. There's no hard fork or coordination of the core devs to change the issuance. It's something that all of us can agree on and rely on as a I guess a constant in the community. Yeah, I think the community is yeah, you see the community here. I think one way I've thought of it is the CKB community is more analogous to the Bitcoin community compared to, say, the Ethereum community, where you're building a broad base of holders and some miners and some devs. But okay, William is saying he can't hear us. Is anyone else having audio problems? Doesn't look like it.
I can
Okay.
hear you clearly.
Okay. So yeah, I think in terms of thinking about community adoption ecosystem, it helps to draw your analog to Bitcoin instead of Ethereum. Just this is just what I observe from the way the community is growing, as well as the technical ecosystem. So if you think about, say, the average Ethereum product, you have probably a double digit to triple digit kind of like number of users, and maybe there are like hundreds of that duplicated application, different dexes or lending protocols. Because CKB is easy to, or getting confused. Because Ethereum is easy to develop for, you have a bunch of those applications. CKB in comparison is much more difficult to deploy applications for, but you get more robust applications. So say .bit has users in the hundreds of thousands, and I see with joy.id, we'll see a similar kind of adoption as that ramps up. And yeah, I think I've been encouraged by seeing how far these applications go once someone gets them built, and the fact that there is a moat around those things. Like .bit, you can't build it on another blockchain, so you have a moat there. We're not going to see something just copy it and deliver the same user experience. And I think as people really get to see what joy.id is capable of, we'll see a similar thing there. Yeah, I guess Jan, do you want to chime in?
Yeah. So to build a ecosystem, I think what's the most important for us now is developers. Already. Sorry, wait a moment. Let me see if I can. Microphone. Hello. Is it better? Okay. So for ecosystem building, I think the most important role we need now is developers, application developers, because in the end, CKB is a permissionless platform for anyone to build applications. And only if there are applications, we will have users. And I can see there are lots of ideas popping out from everywhere, every day. But it seems there are not enough developers who can like carry out those ideas, who can turn those ideas into real code or applications, into marketing activities. So I think that's the most important now, and I think we need to build a, we need to devise, we need to build a process or a developer journey so we can help potential developers, candidates to go through all those technical details, documentations, tools, and help them to build something out. So that's what that's what I think we need the most right now. And once we had like one or several individuals, several developers who achieve that, who turn ideas into final deliveries, um, it's not only examples. It will not only be examples to other developers to show what you can build on CKB, what you can achieve on CKB, and you can really build something different on CKB. It will also help us, help the core team to improve the tools and SDKs and documentations, because now we get some real feedbacks. So I think it's really important to help someone to go through the journey first. Yeah, that's what popped up in my mind.
So I'll add something there as well of observing the ecosystem grow kind of I guess to a second degree. I saw this. I was in ETH Denver, and I noticed that the .bit booth was so much more populated than the I guess
Yeah.
the foundation booth, and it's because things like .bit or joy.id meet developers where they are for the I guess dealing with the numbers of like developers by the numbers in crypto. Those products are meeting people where they are, whereas CKB is requiring another step beyond where most developers, most crypto developers are, and that's just part of the challenge of expanding CKB, is finding those developers that really can take things to the next level and build these things that are innovative and transformative. And they almost market CKB, but at the end of the day, that growth is seen as growth of the .bit ecosystem or growth of the joy.id ecosystem, which I understand from I guess someone watching's perspective could be concerning. I think the most important thing there is the economic model of CKB, and as long as more people are using CKB, then that is beneficial for all stakeholders. And yeah, I see it as a positive thing.
Just shove a question at you
Sure.
guys.
Yeah. Do you think CKB will be added to more centralized and decentralized exchanges in the near future? I'm interested in decentralized exchanges as a result of governments and companies trying to stop us from participating in cryptocurrency ecosystems. I guess, Jan, do you want to comment any on, I guess, going back to maybe bridging CKB over to Ethereum, and just any ideas around what that might look like in the future?
Um, I, I we don't have any concrete plan for Force Bridge now, because frankly, after we build Force Bridge and maintain it for for a while, it turns out the development and maintenance cost is quite high to run a bridge for a bridge. we need to we need a team to keep it safe, to make sure the funds in the bridge is safe. So there's no plan for Force Bridge. There's no plan to expand Force Bridge to more chains now. And I think maybe the best choice is to collaborate with the bridges in the industry. There are so many bridges there already. Why do we build our own? It just seems not that cost effective. So there are no plan now. And for DEX, I think we will see some DEX on CKB. It takes some time. For such a DEX to appear on CKB, we need to solve for example, the share state problem, and we will need standards and protocols like open transaction, which is what we are working on. Yeah, and I think we will see the DEX we will see on CKB will look like differently on those on Ethereum. For example, the most popular one on Ethereum are Uniswap. It's a AMM, right? But on CKB, with open transaction, what we can build might be order-based DEX. So things will be different, and I think we will be able to see CKB on some DEX in future, but I'm not sure about CDX.
Okay.
About token price, as that is not what we are in the business of doing. We are in the business of building. So please stop asking questions about the token price, because we just cannot go there. This isn't a Ponzi scheme. When you talk about token price, you're pulling a Ponzi scheme, for the lack of a better word. So
Okay.
one last question, Matt, if you want to go ahead and pick it.
Yeah, I see. How will the halving impact gas fees and consequently mining rewards? So the halving won't have any impact on fees on the chain. That's purely driven by supply and demand for block space. Right now, there's adequate block space for demand to use the chain, so fees will continue to stay quite low until the equation changes and we see a lot more demand. I think the only time that we've seen fees creep up was during .bit's launch of, I think it was the 4-digit or 4-character names. And we saw a ton of interest in using the chain in a very short period of time, and fees went up. But other than that, fees have remained low. And yeah, I guess with that, we can wrap it up.
So next we are going to go to our CKB Community Frens. We can't hear you, but we can see you. J-Mitch, we can see you.
Good deal.
There we go.
William, you want to take it first, sir? Or you want me to go? All right, good deal. For sure. Thank you for having me. I'm going to try to make this really quick. I wrote down some really cheesy things, and I'll just kind of share them. 4 years is a long time. That was one of the first things I was thinking about. You know, we get to celebrate our birthdays every year, holidays. Sometimes we got to wait a couple years for our favorite artist, our TV show to come out with new episodes or albums. But we got to wait 4 years for this, and so this is a big moment. Starting from the depths of the bear market that followed the 2018 highs through the highs and lows of 2021 and 2022, and now to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here in Q4 of 23. We continue to march onward. I want to thank the Nervos Foundation. I want to thank them for their unwavering commitment and execution to the vision and mission set in stone from the beginning of CKB's birth. We have already seen many projects begin to change their narrative of their change or project, I should say. Nervos has remained steadfast to its vision, steadfast on proof of work, decentralization, and security first. I want to thank the Nervos Foundation for not being swayed by the voice of the mob. I was speaking to a prominent engineer in the crypto space roughly maybe about 2 months ago, and he said, quote, "To this day, I have not found a project that can do what CKB can." And I believe that that's very powerful. I'm not a developer myself, so I look to those who are. CKB is a beast. We have all heard the term "in it for the tech." While financial profitability is a goal of most, we have something even more valuable here, as Jan and Matt have already spoken to. Our world is in the very beginning stages of moving on-chain completely. Over the next 50 years, our world's financial system, social networks, and means of communication will look completely and utterly different. And I believe that CKB has a role to play in this new world 50 years from today. So yes, I'm also in it for the tech. What we have here is very special. I'm going to make it very fast. I'm just grateful to be here and speak for a minute or two. Congratulations to the Nervos Foundation. Congratulations to the Nervos Nation community, and happy halving, guys. I'm very grateful to be here with all of you, and this is a very, very exciting time. So here's to the next 4 years.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
And thanks so much for being a community member and contributing to... Oh, sorry, I'm muted. What a loser. You know what it is? So I have to actually enable my mic on YouTube and on Discord. So I'm sitting here talking to YouTube, but no one can hear me on Discord. Isn't that great? So what I was saying was, like, thanks for being part of the community. Thanks for, I guess, understanding the vision here. And like you said, it's really important to recognize that, yes, a lot of people are in this space for the financial gains, even though they say, like, hey, we're here for the tech. And the more I learn about, financial Mongols like Warren Buffett and, all those guys, the more I understand why they take some of this stuff as a joke. Because it is truly speculative, and a lot of people do just come in here for the pump and dumps, but there are projects like Nervos that kind of just shine through all the noise and say, hey, no, like, we actually got to build something that's going to last a long time. We can't just disappear 10 years from now, because what was all the money for? So yeah, it's nice to see that people, I guess, get these concepts and understand these visions, because they are important to outlast, us. The idea with the tech companies isn't to just build for the next 5 years, it's to build for the next 50 to 100 years. So yeah, really nice to hear that. All right, let's see who is next and wants to come up on stage here. All right, so it looks
William's
like William
ready.
has his life together. All right, William, we're gonna bring you up.
William, I'll just jump in before you start talking, and say
Hello?
that I really wish I could play music on this stream, but the concern is that YouTube may inadvertently kill it because of copyright claims. So to me, it just demonstrates the I guess the problem with anything where you do have censorship ability, that there's a lot of collateral damage that can occur as a result. And yeah, we should be streaming on a censorship resistant thing, and I think it could be a lot more fun that way. But we're here for each other. So I guess, William, I'll pass the mic over to you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Awesome. Oh my god. Discord's a nightmare for me, guys. Like, it just doesn't work at all. Like, your voices go all quiet. Whatever. I won't complain about it. It's really nice to see you guys. It's been a long, crazy journey, and we've had like too many ups and downs to count. And we've been through a lot, but we're all still here, and that means something to me. I hope it means something to you guys, and I hope it means something to you, Jan, as the architect. So I guess all I wanted to talk about today was, you guys already know what's great about Nervos. You guys know why I love it, because it's proof of work. Who work in the crypto space try to tread lightly when they give their opinions about proof of stake, because they don't want to, get fired or like cause a disruption in the space. But I think proof of stake is an absolute scam.
We're losing you a little bit, William. Could you I guess just kind of stay like close to a window, I guess, and just stand in one place. I pace as well, so it's cool, man. Just like,
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
All right. Just to summarize, if I got cut out at all, I think proof of stake is a scam, and I can say whatever I want because I'm not an employee. I'm just a community member. And what I have to offer is a novel proof of work layer 1 protocol that distributes proportional rewards based on mining hash power, so that the price stabilizes. And to make a long story short, it's basically a proof of work based stablecoin without an oracle and without a peg. And that's what I've been busying myself with lately. And only recently I figured out that since we are both proof of work projects, we can both utilize the simplified payment verification solution that Satoshi wrote about in his white paper, and use that to bridge these two ecosystems. That way, my project can get more expressive smart contracts capabilities and account abstraction, and Nervos can get a stable medium of exchange that doesn't have a peg and is based on proof of work. And I just wanted to let people know about that. If anyone's interested, just message me. I already wrote the rough draft of the proposal. It's in the tech chat if anyone wants to check it out. And I really hope, well, not hope, I think this is our year. I think we're going to accomplish a lot this year. So hats off to everyone for sticking around. And thanks for putting up with me, because I know I can be a pain in the ass like 90% of the time. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, William. Self-awareness is worth its weight in gold.
No, that was great. No,
I guess just to reiterate, so the proposal that William's referring to is for the CKB Community Fund DAO. It's in the Nervos Tech and Code chat, I think it's called on Telegram now. Yeah, it's the idea is to build a two-way bridge between two proof of work chains, which I don't think exists anywhere. Yeah, as he said, the asset that is created on the other chain is a non-algorithmic, I guess, Oracle-driven stablecoin. And yeah, so always interested in expanding the ecosystem through the CKB Community Fund DAO. which I wish we had like a little commercial for. It would be great to do like a 30-second spot just for the community fund DAO right now. But I think we've funded, there's been 5 projects, I think, that have been funded through it. And yeah, it's useful for expanding the ecosystem. I think anyone asking like where can I get a grant, you can just go to the Nervos Talk forum and check out the CKB Community Fund DAO. And I think there's the better part of 200 million CKB there to expand the ecosystem. And it's driven by the governance of the Nervos DAO. So if you have CKB locked in the Nervos DAO, you can vote for different proposals and express your support. And yeah, I think, is there anyone else that we're going to bring up from the community?
So I believe at some point in time we're supposed to hear from the Nervos Nation. Guys, if you had previously wanted to come up and do something, now is the time. Please raise your hand. Please and thank you. Now is the time. So while I'm doing that, I kind of looked at the YouTube chat and I saw this young. It looked like a young guy. I don't know who he is, but I'll just say this. So piggybacking off what I was saying about, I guess, the success of companies and like, stuff, how the stock market works and all that stuff about Warren Buffett. Probably my favorite quote is, you should always buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price, because that has a lot to do with the longevity of whether or not your assets will be valuable in the future. And it's unfortunate to see that most people are saying like, hey, we're here for the gains, let's be honest, because that's not practical. And that's why the government and all these people are trying to shut all this shit down, because it's just not how the world works. It's not how money works, and unfortunately it's just like further crippling the system, whether you realize it or not. And you can either be part of the plague, or you can say like, hey, let's have some morals while we're doing this. And that's all I have to say about that. So learning about finance goes a long way, because crypto is not finance. It's a tool to bring that. Originally the idea was to do payments on the internet, which technically hasn't completely been solved. It's been semi-solved, but it's still very expensive. Micropayments was always the goal. And yeah, it goes a long way to learn about things rather than being caught up on money and greed. So that's all I gotta say about that. All right,
There's
do we have our next person raising their hand? No, I haven't heard from anyone. Oh, there's Lee. Here we
Lee.
go.
All right, well, Lee is coming up. There's a question from YouTube. Is tribalism in cryptocurrency really necessary? Isn't diversification in technology a good thing? Does it not spurn competition, boost innovation? I think, in my opinion, the tribalism is good to a degree. I think the challenge you get is you get people very financially involved, and maybe this works in like a venture capital kind of thing where companies can run out of money and then they're just gone, and maybe people take their work and then come up with something else. But I think that the challenge with crypto is that these assets always stick around, and people are always trying to continue to try to pump these things. There's not really kind of like a throw in the towel, we didn't have the right idea, let's start over. You don't really see that process so much. You also don't see people, like, if someone were to like leave a project, it's a very like traumatic thing for someone to sell their bags and move on to something else. Whereas in technology and in general, it's a natural process, as the question kind of conveys. And I think the presence of a asset that can live forever really kind of I guess an asset that can live forever that's not based on a cash flow model really kind of screws up the incentives there. I do think diversification is great. I do think there are different ways of solving a problem, and we don't know. Even CKB is just one thesis on the problems of crypto and how we'll solve it. And Jan talked at long length about the ideas of CKB and why it's designed the way it is. And at the other end of the spectrum, you have something like Solana, which is pushing forward on all cylinders, very very effectively, but with a very different vision. And you have to give these things 5, 10, 20 years before you really know what the appropriate solution was, or even the appropriate problem, as I was speaking about Apple. Was the problem that computers weren't powerful enough or cheap enough or something like that, or were they just not human enough? And yeah. So with that, Lee.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Hi guys, I'm Lee Blackwood Stringer, and I'm the community manager for Nervos. You might know me as other names through socials like Cricket Nervousness or DJ Minger in Reddit. I'd like to thank everyone that's come here today. Really, it's our first halving, people, and time's come so quickly for me. It's a section of my life that's profoundly changed with a new baby, totally new job, doing cool things with the community. Total different lifestyle choice, and the halving means quite a lot to me, really, because it's just like an epoch of all of the effort that we've put in over the last 2 years. So it's pretty special to me, really. The community is, of course, one of the most important things about a crypto project. It helps keep sustainable. And I'd like to thank everyone who kept the nation and the community going, with big shout outs to Neon, Kevin, OG Chris, Rennie and the Nation boys like William, Goz, CKD, Space Kook, Kima, Alejandro representing the Spanish contingent, Bill from the Aussie faction who builds interesting things for Nervos, and all the ex-Twitterati helping to meme the platform and keep grinding for us. Also, I'd like to give out shout outs to projects still around like Nervos Nation NFT store, the Nervape NFT in particular. They had some cool designs. It was awesome. They did a halving special, which I also noticed got sold out through the community endeavors. So I'm hoping to see everyone pushing forward in the future. And I want you to all be around because you're all really super important for me and for everyone, really. And we need to just keep plugging away, no matter how much. And just keep sustaining the project, because without us there are no customers at the end of the day for some of these dApps. And if we can keep on pushing forward and pushing our community to expand, and even across other groups and other crypto, shut out the tribalism, which Matt was given that question earlier. Tribalism has no place in crypto for Nervos. We want everyone on board. We don't just want our group. Otherwise it might as well be just singing to the choir. Or preaching to the choir, sorry. So yeah, thanks for everyone showing up. Hopefully Neon's going to do a little talk soon. I don't know if people can still put their hands up. Just let us know in the chat if you can't. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Woohoo!
Thank you, Lee.
Neon, where are you at? We want to hear about this store. I mean, I know you guys have been working on it for some time. I'm also excited to hear about this store. In a second here, also, we were planning on showing off some Nervapes, which I think are pretty cool. If you guys look at Jan's picture here, I'll make them a little bigger. I think if I... Oh, it's not working. Never mind. He has a Nervape as his profile picture, and they're cool little things that are basically like NFTs, and I think they also tell stories. There's stories that go with them, and it's a cute project. It's something we'll do some commentary on. I think Matt, you got a bunch of people to drop their NFTs on a post. Matt, hello. Am I here alone? Can anyone hear me?
I'm not actually sure.
Matthew has left the building, guys. All right. Oh, there he
Okay,
is.
I'm back. Yeah, I pressed the run button. Okay. Yeah, ready to go through those Nervapes at a moment's notice. There is one question from YouTube. Is an updated roadmap coming at some point? So I can share the journey page, which I'll do that to YouTube in a second here, that goes through the ongoing projects, and that is something that's rolling and updated. I can say that at the start of the year, we'll have a community town hall where all of the teams building around the project and within the project will go through what they're working on. But there is no official roadmap kind of thing. The project has been building for almost 6 years now, so things are pretty well distributed in terms of work, and there's work happening in a number of different places. So there's no kind of one idea of where all of this is going. You just have different teams, building their world. And yeah, I guess with that we can move to the Nervapes unless anyone has any other questions they want to get in now.
so let's move on to the nerve apes.
All right. So first up, from Jordan. I guess Lee, are you still on stage? Any commentary?
So me and Lee were supposed to. I told him we were supposed to do British accents, like a TV talk
Ah.
show. Like, oh, how cute! I have a terrible British accent, but like we can make it work.
Come on in, Annalise. Give us your British accent.
His glasses are just spiffy, and is that a wrench he has in his hand? Now I'm turning Australian. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, sounds a bit Australian.
Shout out to
Okay,
Jordan
good day,
for
mate.
his wicked nerve ape. It actually is pretty cool. I like the earrings. And the
More tea and
classic,
crumpets, Annalise.
what are those glasses called? The
Meme glasses, like
the
the
thug life
G
glasses.
Thug Life, yes.
Yeah, those are like the thug life glasses. Thug life.
Like,
Let's go on to our next picture, please. Thank
Oh
you.
my god.
Wow, those glasses say "fuck you." That's great. Oh my god.
he's not the only one that picked those glasses too. I've seen those glasses on other nerve apes as well.
So these are
It's pretty bling.
customizable. People pick these things.
It's pretty blinged up though.
It looks great. I like the Bitcoin. It looks awesome.
That just
Is
sounds
that a
really
tattoo
well.
it has on its arm?
You want to throw a few snags on the Barbie Pippa?
Shout out to Don Dara. Is that how
Andara.
you pronounce?
Yeah, he's here as well.
He's Canadian, I think.
Is he?
Oi, Canadian bacon. I love Canadian bacon.
He can also take the mick out the way you speak, Annalise, because he's Canadian. That's what you guys do, isn't it? Canadians and Americans.
It's terrible. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
They're very like thugged out. They're like the tattoos and the hats, and
They're like
this one's drinking a
degenerates.
beer. Yeah, degenerate. I guess they are apes, so
Yeah.
It's holding up beer. Yeah, holding up beer.
Eating pizza, the world's
Eating
most
pizza,
nutritious food.
CKB. Look at those glasses. He has CKB eyes. That's pretty cool. Do any of them have shoes? I haven't seen shoes on these creatures.
Do apes wear shoes? I don't know.
Shout out to what's that name? Paskin. Yeah, I'm terrible at reading, guys. Sorry, I'm like dyslexic. It's okay.
skinny are.
Oh, another FU. Nice. Oh, from Rory. Rory. Hello, Rory. How are you? Nice.
Oh dear. You sound like the lead actress off of Schitt's
Wow,
Creek.
this one
comedy.
is quite the.
It's very strong on the POW.
There's a lot going on this one. It's
stop.
like
Yeah.
it's just like a visual. Like visually, it's a lot. I like the stop sign.
Nodes
Stop
in the
signs.
background.
The skateboard is
Pop
nice.
art.
I like the OG like Nervos stickers on the skateboard. The pinky ring is pretty swagger. Still no shoes. Like none of these things have shoes. Shoes are illegal apparently in Nerve Ape Land.
Why is there a U on the ring? What do you think that means?
I guess that's a U. The Game Boy glasses are pretty cool. Those are nice. Nodes. Speaking of nodes, I think we were up to 300 the other day, right, Jordan?
Yes. Yeah, it was still up past 300 last time I checked.
Nice.
Yeah, the node count has moved around a bit due to changes on that page, which I guess I could pull up now since we're here.
Nice.
Yeah, 320 nodes.
Let's just see. Wow, nice. This is a pretty swanky website, I have to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of nerve apes that people try. This one has a bra. Wow.
This one has shoes.
We found some shoes.
We found some shoes. The Run CKB stickers are popular.
People like that name.
Nervape.bit, nice.
6 figs.
Oh, this one's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. He looks aggressive. He looks like 6 figs. Big old guy. Yeah.
The Minnesota Dalai Lama. That's what I call him.
I do like the usage of all the old assets. So there was
I have
like the
that
Lena one.
shirt as a fanny pack. I have that from launch. I got the Lena fanny pack. There was actually a little girl in public once who saw my fanny pack, and she looked at it and she goes, her thing says Nervous. I kind of just looked at her like, what the heck? It was very
Yeah,
strange.
people love the name. People love the name Nervos. That was the original. Before people asked why the price is going down, they asked why is it called Nervos. That was the thing.
Makes you nervous. Yeah.
Exactly. The
I just
memes.
love
It's
the
all
word
about
save.
memes, right? Like if you can meme it, then it will survive in crypto. I think, assuming your tech isn't fundamentally broken and you have some sort of Terra kind of construct going on. But if you can meme it, it'll stick around. Bitcoin was the original meme coin.
Bitcoin was the original meme coin. This is correct.
Yeah.
This
Having
the same. Yeah, POW won't stop. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Oh, these are like, so these are like Halving Edition apes.
Yes.
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't know that. I feel like there's for the size of the ecosystem, like honestly, there's a good amount of stuff going on, and you can't complain about that.
All right.
Pow.
So many apes.
I like his patches. He's supposed to be like a kung fu cyborg ape, I think.
Well, shout out to Echo. If everyone doesn't know Echo, Echo did the original, I guess, logos and a lot of the original art behind Nervos. I think from bootstrapping from being completely zero as far as awareness goes, design goes a really long way. And shout out to Lee and all the AI art that's making its way around now. Yeah, the Echo designed the Nervos. This is the same one again, I guess. Okay, this one has a long beard.
I don't know what to think about this guy, honestly. He looks cool though.
I like his long beard. He reminds me of someone that's actually in the community now.
Is that Rory?
That beard. No, it's not Rory. No, it's he came in the other day into. He's always on Reddit. I never really get to speak to him that much, but let me try and find him.
This one has fire coming out of its ears.
I like the pills. The pills are cool. There's a lot of assets for these things, which is kind of nice. They're very customizable.
Yeah, I was surprised. They did a Halloween version, which didn't have nearly the customizability.
Yeah, no, these are great. You can, there's so many different designs. Nothing looks similar. It's actually pretty cool. I like the candles in the back. Those are nice.
Yeah, wow, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Lee, this guy looks just like you. An Englishman in 1920 England.
Trying to bomb Parliament.
Under spotlight.
Matt,
Alexander Bundy. Wow. I don't want to click on. I don't want to click on his picture. I don't know. He might have some explicit things on his.
Matt, you know the developer Josh Yates. I think he might be in the audience. Yeah, he has the big.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh Yates.
Yeah, shout out to Josh. He's been around a long time as well, man.
Yeah, he's always building little things. I think he mines, right?
Does he mine? I'm not too sure.
So, yeah. Okay, next one. I think we have only a few left. Yeah, maybe.
There's a lot.
7.
A lot of people submitted.
There's maybe 7 apes left. Yeah, I think like 30 people dropped them.
Wow, nice. Yeah, this is your time to shine, guys. Showing off your apes.
Is he blowing a bubble?
While we go into these apes, actually, let's. Well, where are we on the halving clock? How are we doing there?
About an hour to go. Another beer. Yeah. Go for it, Lee. Yeah, what is it? It's midday over there. So. Yeah, we got about
Who's
an
that?
hour to go.
Someone in the community said they were down the pub already.
This one's got a little teddy bear. Hey, he's got a banana. It's like the teddy bear is like teleporting.
Rick and Morty.
Oh, that one's cool.
It's got buttons.
I like
It's a
that
dot.
one.
Yeah, it's a dot bit.
It's like a dot bit
Yeah,
astronaut.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah, you can actually see it on chain. I didn't know they were all on chain.
Too much green. Someone really likes green.
This one doesn't even have a face. Yeah, well, where's his eyes? They left the eyes on.
I like the chain though. I think we already saw this one. I think we might have gone through them.
All right, so this is the last one then.
Nice.
Shout out to Emmanuel. Yeah, he's always advocating for CKB and answering questions. And yeah, I know he's trying to start a community in Africa. So very cool. Zimbabwe, to be precise.
Nice.
Zimbabwe.
Yep. I know we have someone. I guess we can move to the ecosystem portion now. I think.
Well, I guess last call for anyone doing any, I guess, community stuff. Anyone wanting to speak here last minute. Now is your chance. You can request now. Otherwise, forever hold your peace. All right, it looks like Neon wants to speak. Neon, were you going to speak now, or did you want to speak? I guess you can speak now. It doesn't matter. I'll bring you up.
Come on, Neon, show us some English accents.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I definitely had to come on after your your attempt. It was quite good, yeah. But yeah, a little bit of work needed, Annalise.
Sorry.
But not bad. No, I just wanted to yeah, I was gonna speak later anyway because of the NFT Nation update. But I just kind of probably could come in with my own sort of input as well. You know, it's been a long time. Well, I've been in the community for almost 3 years now, and in a way that time's flown by. And along the way, we made lots of friends. A lot of you have met in person as well. It's been really, really amazing, and like it's to the point where well, obviously we're in this halving now, but I'm already thinking about like next halving and what will things be like? What will the community be like? What will the ecosystem be like in the next halving? A lot of people come into this type of thing, and I've said it before a lot of times. Maybe it's like an investment type of thing, and you know that's what they're kind of looking at to start with. But really, when I kind of first came into the community, I was reading an article somewhere, and I think it was a quote from Kevin or Jan or something, where it was that you know really the aim of CKB is to make the world a better place. Now that kind of sounds a little bit woolly sometimes, but really when I read that, that did resonate with me, and I kind of saw that they have the ability, the team, you know, the capacity to actually do that, and they have a reason and a value proposition to do that. And so that really made me think, no, this is something that ought to be supported. It's something that if it is successful and it does well, then it can really improve people's lives. We can live in a more in a fairer society, really, where sometimes we think we're free. We don't live without censorship, but really we in some ways we do. And it would be nice to be able to transact, to interact with people, and not have those barriers, and especially people in sort of other countries where that type of censorship is more apparent. It would just be nice for it would definitely improve the quality of people's lives, generally speaking. And CKB in particular has the capacity to kind of do that and offer not just like store of value peer-to-peer type of stuff, but decentralized services, a platform to actually build those types of services, which can kind of break the barriers that we're kind of seeing in Web3 at the moment. And so that's kind of where I am with the community and with what we're doing at Nervos Nation. It's not a one-person thing. It's so many people who've kind of come together to do this. And like I said, we've made so many friends along the way. And in a way, this is kind of just the beginning of it. Hopefully many more years to come of this. And that's all really I needed to say.
Thanks, Jan. It's great to see the spirit of the project kind of expand. I think that's the most powerful thing. I think.
Our next segment here.
I'd like to share. I'm Cypher from joy.id. Yeah. I'd like to share a fun fact about myself first. That is the birthday of my son. It's exactly the same as that of CKB Midnight. Only he is 1 year older. So we just celebrated his 5th birthday days before. So so it's so happy to watch CKB growing together with my son. It's really a great experience. Yeah. I'm from joy.id. So what is joy.id? Give you guys a simple introduction in case you didn't know it. joy.id is a passkey wallet rather than a DID project. It has several key features like instant onboarding. I think our grandma, grandpa can create a Web3 wallet in less than 10 seconds, and it uses biometric authentication. And what's more important is real permissionless, decentralized, and non-custodial. And it has better user experience design, even better than Web2 accounts system. So our goal of this product is to achieve the real mass adoption. And our website is joy.id. You can try it now. And okay, how is joy.id built on Nervos CKB? First of all, we use CKB as our abstract account blockchain. Everyone, if you use joy.id to cover more than one devices, which means you want to use 2 devices to share one account, you need to set up an account on CKB. And every abstract account on CKB will occupy 115 CKB. So if we could achieve like 1 million users, maybe most of them will acquire some CKB on chain. And with another technology we provided, we call it signature transform. We can transfer passkey signature together with our on-chain AA account. We can produce HD root key for other chains like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, Tron, Mia, or even Nostr. So actually, joy.id is chain agnostic. Only the base account is built on CKB. So how joy.id will benefit the Nervos ecosystem? Like I said, every joy.id users are potentially need some CKBs to build their AA account. And actually, every joy.id user is a quota protocol user by default because joy.id account style is account style shares the same protocol with quota. Quota is cost efficiency NFT protocol on CKB, and we have distributed more than 400,000 quota protocol NFTs on chain. So in the future, in the near future, we will enable every joy.id users to mint, to create, to define, and distribute their quota NFTs to their friends, to their the merchants members, and to make more adoption. And another important thing is together with the CKB core team, joy.id wallet will support the latest DApp standard at the earliest opportunity, and we can try the cutting edge technology to provide a better developer environment for the DApp developers and for the end users. So our future plan. First, we are trying to provide a better Nostr integration. With Nostr integration, joy.id wallet could be a Nostr client or account manager. We have connected with Flatcat, which is a Nostr client developed by cryptape. And but now joy.id only limited for the NIP 07 protocol, which is account login and authentication protocol. We will provide NIP 04, which is message encryption and decryption protocol. And we will bring browser extension for Ethereum, for Nostr, for Lightning Network in the near future, which is compatible with joy.id wallet. And another important thing, which is also very promising, is Telegram SDK. We are building it, and hopefully it will be announced in the next 1 or 2 weeks. With this Telegram SDK, everyone could migrate their Ethereum or Nervos or other compatible chain dApps to Telegram mini app with only less than 10 lines of code modification, and they use joy.id as a wallet to connect. I believe it's almost the only solution for Telegram users to connect their outside wallet with blockchains other than home. So I believe it will bring lots of users, lots of attention to Nervos ecosystem. And yes, we will provide more native support for CKB dApps. And I believe in the next years, in next 1 year, we can bring maybe millions of users to our ecosystem, and together we build a better world. Yes.
That's great. Thanks, Cypher. We have one question. When will Bitcoin be supported on joy.id?
Actually, we can enable the support immediately in 1 or 2 weeks, but we're figuring out a way to support more Bitcoin features like partial transaction signature, like the layer 2 support, including Lightning Network or Taproot support. So yeah, we don't have a timetable about that, but if a community member of our ecosystem need this feature, we can consider it again. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I would say if everyone hasn't tried out joy.id, definitely give it a shot. I'll drop the link in the chat here. I dropped it on YouTube as well. So it's a very convenient wallet.
Option so far with joy.id been? I'm curious to see how people received it after launch. Has it been, I guess, more than what was expected, or is it slowly growing?
Yeah. Actually, we have started to announce the launch, midnight launch for about 8 days or 10 days. The total users about joy.id now is only exceeded 20,000. But
20,000?
it's
Exceeded
all
20,000?
20,000 in
Wow.
10 days. But yeah, we have 2 more important partners on the way. The first one is CDAO. CDAO is the biggest Chinese DAO in China. It has more than I think more than 100,000 users. And another potential attraction is smart token labs. They will bring more than 2 million users from their email based users. They want to turn the email based users into wallet based users. So they will bring 2 million users to us in the next 1 or 2 weeks. And what's more, like I mentioned before, is Telegram. Telegram have 18 million monthly active users. And joy.id will be almost the only available multi-chain wallet that can be connected with Telegram mini app. So I believe this step will bring us even much more users in the future 1 or 2 months. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, congratulations on that. Yeah, it looks like some people were curious, I guess, about the user count and how the launch went and how things are moving forward. I think somebody told me that they saw that an entire project chose to adopt joy.id as their native wallet. So I think for the most part, this space is taking a good taking to it. I don't know if you had answered this, but I saw this in the chat here. In terms of the longer term goal, will joy.id allow swaps?
Yes, of course. Like MetaMask, the main revenue generated by the internal swap, right? And with very high commission fee. And we will bring token swap and also cross-chain token swap, enable multi-chain tokens swap with each other, especially with CKB. And also we will bring on-ramp, off-ramp methods integrated with third-party service providers. Yeah, they are on our map, but on our roadmap, but we have limited engineers, so we can only make things one by one. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I guess let's move on to.
We have one
or I
more
guess
Joy ID
question.
related thing. Let's do let's go to Ikyu, who is building Joy Gift. I think we can see the power of Joy ID from a developer perspective. See if he's here. Jackie. Okay, yep. Invite to speak. Great. Okay.
Hello.
Do you have anything from your screen that you'd like to share?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
just
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, CKB fan. This is issue. Join you from the CKB fans Chinese community. So super excited to be here for all of you from around the world. Witness the CKB's first having together. Okay, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for coming, IQ. So just so everyone knows, IQ was a CKB miner and a core member of the CKB fans community. He's been involved with Nervos for 4 years, contributing as a dedicated community member. He was a moderator of some socials for CKB, and he's created das.la, seekdid.com, and also ckbdaps.com, which I think we had up for the Halving countdown. Now, I understand that you're currently working on a tool for Joy ID. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot for the warm introduction, Matt. And yes, your information is spot on. We are indeed developing a gift. Certainly, Joy Gift is essentially a tool for distributing crypto gifts. Users can send and receive gifts by connecting through Joy ID. Makes sense, more engaging. It takes the form of red packet, hongbao in Chinese, and in our initial release, users can send the CKB red packet and share them with their audience. Then the audience can claim the red packet by logging with Joy ID. Okay. In the future, we plan to expand Joy Gift to support other sites as a gift, such as sport NFTs and SUDT. Okay. Matt.
That's great. Yeah, so it's great to see more applications using the user experience of Joy ID. Yeah, I was saying earlier that someone asked about the ecosystem, and I see the ecosystem growing very different from, say, Ethereum, where Ethereum maybe someone launches a DEX and then all the users use the DEX. But with CKB, we see a product like .bit or Joy ID, and then we see lots of developers build products based on those tools. So it's very different how the CKB ecosystem grows. So I wanted to ask you one more question. Do you have any hints on the estimated launch date for Joy Gift?
Yeah. Well, sorry. So, think back to the good old days. It was a blast when Daniels ran the CKB red packet on us for a continuous 30 days on WeChat moment. So I figured, why not whip up Joy Gift and bring back the pure joy of getting Daniels red packet? I mean, who wouldn't wanted to relive those awesome moments, right? Okay, that's a joke. Okay. On a serious note, the idea of Joy Gift was initially sparked when, before joy.id's launch, I suggested to Cypher that including a red packet feature in joy.id could be a great way to introduce more people and more people to joy.id and CKB quickly. To my surprise, Cypher threw the ball back to me, asking if we could build this app, and he even suggested making it a mini app on Telegram. So that's how this story of Joy Gift began. Okay.
Okay.
Matt.
Great. Well, we really look forward to the launch of Joy Gift, and yeah, thank you for all your contributions to the ecosystem and the community. I know that CKB dApps is a very useful site for everyone, so really looking forward to all the work that you'll do in the ecosystem. So thanks, AQ. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so I think we're going to Six Figs next. Is that right?
I think so. He came up last minute. I guess we missed him with the community portion, but Six Figs, if you're ready, we're ready for you.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for having me. Sorry I missed you earlier. My wife had back surgery Tuesday, and I've been just kind of helping her out this morning, but had to step away. I'm stoked to be here, and I'm very much excited for this having to happen, just for a variety of reasons. It really is like this milestone, almost like completing college, or some sort of long strenuous schooling or something like that. But it's just man, it's just such an achievement to see a blockchain last more than 4 years, especially in today's world, because really at the end of the day, like, a lot of these things just get thrown up and get torn down so quick. So to see that Nervos is still standing strong after 4 years, like, I'm very much excited for like the next 4 years. But yeah, very bullish on what Cypher has created with joy.id. Did some videos on that recently. Way cool. One of the best mobile apps I think I've ever used, to be honest. So big tip of the hat to him for that. And I mean, there's just so much good stuff going on right now in the ecosystem. NFT Nation. I know Neon's been working very hard on that with his team. I do plan on launching an NFT project there soon, revolving around a Wojak animation series. So that's kind of where I'm at with things for that. But yeah, other than that, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay.
I know. It's lonely at the top.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So yeah, that's about all I got going on right now, and I'm just kind of watching that timer, waiting for the halving. I'm gonna cry a little bit because I've been mining Nervos network since, like, I want to say the fall of 2021, somewhere in there. And it's bittersweet.
We had a question about how things affect the miners. So maybe you want to speak about, I guess, how you're thinking about it, like what the future of mining CKB looks like for you.
Yeah. So at least for me, I think, unfortunately, I am not running the highest end miners. I'm running the CK box miners. And when it comes down to it, it's been fluctuating. So I'm running about 5 or 6 of them, and I'll get anywhere between like 300 to 500 CKB per day. To see that get cut in half, and then, like, it's hard for me to like justify that power bill. So I mean, I may have to shut my miners down until the price maybe increases a little bit, and then I'll turn them back on. But I am going to be looking at some of like the next gen miners that might be able to, mine more CKB. So that's kind of what that looks like for me. As far as my feelings about the mining, or excuse me, about the halving, this is a double-edged sword, and I'm very excited that that the network is having. It's just, it just screams like decentralization and empowerment. Uh, Sustainability, evolution. All
Yep.
those things. But on the other hand, I'm seeing my rewards go
Yeah,
down,
practically
and I am
speaking, yeah.
greedy. I'm greedy when it comes to my CKB. I need to get as much of it as I can. So,
Yeah, mining is tough. Like
yeah,
I think it's part of like that like proof of work, hard money kind of thing that there is no free lunch. And you compare that to proof of stake where everybody's getting rewards every month, no matter what. They're all just getting more coin. And
right.
yeah, mining is quite different. And but yeah, it's the thing I like about mining is that it's kind of like a service to the network. And yeah, if you really have done your numbers right, you can. A lot of people have gotten rich. Like Riot is a huge company that's just built itself up Bitcoin mining. And but yeah, it's a razor thin game of inches. So
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, mining through the bear market has been tough, and it's
mhm,
definitely been, um, it's I have full confidence in the project, and that's the only reason I kept my miners running. And I'm basically just spec mining, and that's just basically speculation mining for those that don't know.
mhm,
You're pretty much betting that the price is going to go up. You can secure the network, so it's not really that big of a deal to me. Eventually, I'll have to sell some of those CKB to kind of recoup some costs that I'm incurring now. But it is what it is. It's part of the game, and mining might seem like it's kind of boring, but it's kind of fun to open up your browser every day and see how much CKB got deposited into your wallet the day previously, or today. So I mean,
mhm,
it is a fun thing to do, and it can be inexpensive if you're just running a single CKB box,
mhm.
or it can be very expensive. You're running like 10 or 20 of them.
And there's somebody on YouTube saying I use my CKB box miners as space heaters that make money, which yeah, definitely a use case.
And I do that as well.
Yeah.
So I am in Minnesota, and the climate here in Minnesota is very harsh. We get extreme temperatures in the summer, and we get extreme temperatures in the winter. Well, in the winter, it can get as low as 20, 30 below zero out. And that really creates some cold basements.
Mhm,
So I have about 6 miners. I got about 6 or 7. I think I got 6 CK boxes, and I leave those things running in the basement, and yeah, it heats about. I have them running in one of my spare rooms that's about 900 square feet, and it keeps that room at like a cool 65 degrees all winter long. And without those miners, that room will drop to like 50 degrees.
mhm.
And I shut down like all the ventilation to that room, and just use the miners to uh, create heat. It's a
Wow.
wonderful thing. So it's like I'm heating my room, keeping my house warm, and recouping some of those
Mhm.
heating costs. So that's a wonderful thing.
Very cool. All
Uh,
right. Yeah. Well, I see J Mitch says Six Figs has devoted so much of his time to the Nervous community over the years. Appreciate you, brother. And I think, yeah, I think all of us here, feel the same way. And yeah, I see you have so many videos about CKB, and yeah, just you as a person. Like it's awesome to have you in the community and have all your support. And yeah, looking forward to many great times to come. So yeah, really appreciate you
yeah,
taking the time. And
my
yeah,
pleasure.
thank
And thank you for the kind words, Matt and J. Mitch and everyone. I sincerely appreciate that. One of the things that when I first found out about Nervos, and I decided to start making videos about it was when I started cranking out the first, like, I don't know, 10 videos. Like, I noticed that there was a solid community here, and everybody was just so nice, and so I just kept chugging along, and I just never stopped. So I'm very happy to be a part of the community, get to know a lot of the people at Nervos, and I can tell you guys out there that I've met a lot of them, and these are some of the smartest people, and I've met a lot of other blockchain designers, developers, and things like that from other ecosystems as well. But I'm always impressed, more so than others, that about the Nervos network employees and staff and how professional and knowledgeable and smart they are. So you guys got a good thing going. I'm just happy to be a small part of this puzzle to help this train move forward.
Awesome. Well, thanks. All right. So who's up next?
So let me look here. Do we have anyone else from the ecosystem? I think .bit unfortunately could not make it. We already spoke to our previous guest. Cypher spoke.
We'll quickly shill .bit then.
Neon, I think you did. I'm sorry. I'm like going back and forth with the stream, but you talked about your Nervous Nation store, right?
Yeah, I've got a quick update for that, but if you guys want to do .bit first.
Yeah, so I'll keep it real quick. So for anyone who doesn't know, .bit has rebranded to d.id, and now if you buy a .bit, you can issue. They used to call them sub DIDs, but I think that they're kind of getting away from that because that's technical jargon. If you look at me on Twitter, I'm matt.abstractors because I own abstractors.bit. So this is more of kind of where the, I guess, decentralized domains are going, where you have a domain that you're issuing others domains off of. So I think you'll still see some people with .bit, but I think you'll see a lot more diversity in terms of what people are issuing. And those sub DIDs are quite cheap to issue. I can't remember exactly how much it costs to issue a sub DID, but it's quite cheap. And yeah, you get the user experience of CKB, and you can use, I guess, similar to joy.id, the same kind of passkey technology. So users don't need mnemonic words. You can use other blockchains wallets. So yeah, excited to see them continue building. And yeah, with that, I'll turn it over to Neon.
Thanks, Matt. Hold on, let me just get this up. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share my screen now. Hold on, if that works. Right, can you see that?
It's coming. There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is just a quick update on NFT Nation. I guess I should start with what is NFT Nation for those who might not be aware. It's an NFT marketplace on Godwoken, which is the layer 2 of Nervos CKB. It started, I think work on it started about a year ago, and it's unique in that it was created from within the community. A few of us came together to kind of get the ball rolling on it. It's the developer who's building it with us is Rabbit. He's a community member. He's been with the community for like over a year now. And it's really for the community as well. The whole idea has been that as the marketplace starts to grow and starts to become more successful, proceeds from that can be used to kind of bootstrap other stuff in the community, helps the community to grow. Really, the idea behind it was for us to have an NFT marketplace, a place for expression, creativity. We have a lot of artists and creators in the community. They didn't really have a place to kind of express themselves and launch their collections. We have that now. So the link is nft-nation.live. Where are we at the moment? So we are live. We're on mainnet beta. Right now, you can buy, sell, mint, auction NFTs. You can create single NFTs. You can create collections. You can set royalties, which really benefits creators. We're really pro royalties in terms of just creating ongoing value and benefit and incentives for creators to kind of continue creating stuff, but also supporting their existing collections as well. We have NFT attributes, we have search functionality, we have verified artists. We also have an NFT bridge with XP Network, so you can send using XP Network Bridge. You can send NFTs from Ethereum to Godwoken and to other chains as well. We've had a play around with that. It works pretty nicely, and so we're at the stage where we're still kind of we're still building, we're still creating. Just sort of fine tuning the platform, if that makes sense. So where are we in our current round of upgrades? Well, we've set up a bespoke test net now, so we can not test in production. We're testing separately. We've added more features in terms of transferring, burning NFTs, improving the transaction flow. Where are we right now? We're kind of just we're really trying to improve the user experience. So we're adding more things that you can do, like you can like NFTs. You can share it onto X. You can have featured collections. You can do extra things like batch minting, for example, for larger collections. Again, we're trying to improve the analytics in UI. Have a dashboard available for users and notifications, so they're more in control of their user experience as well. What's in the future for NFT Nation? Well, I think in recent times the focus has now been towards really improving our offering on layer 1. That's really what we want to focus on now. That's where most of our of the users live. That's where most of the liquidity is. And now with products like joy.id, for example, and new NFT protocol standards like Spore, it really makes sense for us to kind of really leverage that and really show how that can be implemented in a marketplace. So that's really what our focus will be after the current round of upgrades. So probably for the first half of 2024, that's what we'll be working on. And also supporting Kota as well. We think Kota is quite a good and important standard to use. Yeah, we'd really love to have it so that you can log in with your Joy ID and you can kind of store your NFTs. You can do the basic sort of transactions as well through the website on Joy ID. That for us is like a big step for onboarding users to make that experience much more seamless and just easy to do. You don't need to have like a MetaMask and set up all that sort of seed phrase and that kind of stuff. You can literally with 2 clicks or whatever start interacting with the marketplace, and that's really where we see it. And then moving forward after that, really we want to go back to the fundamental value proposition of CKB and really utilize those things that really make CKB special for the marketplace. And so ideally we would like to go multi-chain with chain abstraction, which hopefully using joy.id will also allow that as well. But so that gives you hopefully an insight into where we are at the end of this year and next year as well.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's really cool to hear you guys seeing the the value in things that are native to CKB. I think that's one thing that gives me confidence on I guess we're operating in low probability things where there's thousands of blockchains and what makes this one successful. But seeing things like Joy ID and Kota, and from your perspective of building a product and seeing the value in it, like that really goes a long way to seeing the utility there.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say just thank you to you, Matt, Annalise, Jordan, and Jan, and everyone. You guys have been really great support for us trying to build this, and obviously generally as well. It's really appreciated.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, it's we're all doing this together. Everyone's playing their role, so appreciate that, Neon. Okay. Thanks for providing that update. There was someone on Twitter asking about what is the way to make NFTs on CKB, and it seems like Nervos Nation or Nation NFT Store is in the lead right now. So if anyone is interested in making NFTs, head on over to the Nation NFT Store, and I'll drop a link in chat in a second. Okay, I think next up is Bitmain. Is that correct?
Yes, next up is Bitmain. So we will get them up here on stage, guys. Just hang tight.
Worth it. It's worth not to sleep for this event.
That's great. No, thank you. Thank you so much for staying up late to join the Halving Party.
No worries. Thank you so much. My name is Margie Fain. I'm the marketing manager from Bitmain. We're the world's leading manufacturer of cryptocurrency mining servers, and I'm very, very honored to be here and share this happy moment with you guys. So I was very excited to hear, I think, Six Fig talking about mining CKB and using the heat to warm the house. That was very impressive. I enjoy listening to that. So as the halving happening soon, the difficulty of mining will, of course, continue to rise. And I believe that the quality of mining machines will be even more crucial for us to make profits. So it's time for me to advertise for our company. We have Antminer K7 with a hash rate of 48.5 joules per terahash, and it is available on our official website. And Bitmain, we always, I think, have a very good relationship with Nervos, and we enjoyed having them in our event, and we enjoyed going to their event after parties and all that. We really believe in this ecosystem, and it is very, very important for us to build the whole POW ecosystem together. We will continue to support the events from the Nervos ecosystem as well as the events from the whole POW ecosystem. And these events are always very, very fun, so I enjoy being there. We hope that the Nervos ecosystem will be even more prosperous in the future. Thank you all so much. That's all I have today.
Thank you, Margie. Yeah, I just want to express appreciation for having us at WDMS. I think that's been
Yeah, that was fun.
it was a great time, and I think a great platform to really reach people about the merits of CKB. I think
Right. Yes.
yeah, it's
Yes.
I've found that speaking to mining communities about what CKB can do is such a different conversation compared to like traditional blockchain conferences, because
Right.
everybody's used to hearing about the latest smart contract platform with the TPS and this and that, and like they've heard that pitch 1,000 times. And with POW communities where it's mostly Bitcoin, 90 something percent of POW is Bitcoin, and nobody cares about anything else. I mean, Ethereum, before, but I really see an opportunity for CKB to shine in those rooms where we're talking about things that people have not already heard 1,000 times. So really appreciate Bitmain's support of CKB, and continuing to leverage all your innovation to secure CKB. So
Thank you. Go CKB. I have no idea. She'll probably fall asleep already. But happy dreams, I guess.
I guess doing stuff with the Asian community, guys. So again, Margie, really appreciate you coming. Antpool was supposed to join us, but unfortunately, because it is so late in Asia, like you said, it's 1 a.m. over there right now.
Right, it's 1 a.m. already, so.
Yeah, it's really late. But again, thank you so much for joining us. No problem.
You're
We'll do, I guess, a quick info summary about I guess Antpool and other mining pools that you guys can join. So basically, guys, if you are a miner, whenever you are mining, it is better to mine together rather than mining alone. You have a better probability of actually winning a block over when you mine. This is also, very popular pretty much with any mineable currency. Bitcoin has a bunch of mining pools as well. So pretty much Antpool is a mining pool, along with there's a lot of other mining pools. And I just want to give a quick shout out because the other day when we push out an update to the network, the pools were very fast to respond and fix and update things from their end that they require of miners. And that was great. So very, very happy with all the support within the mining ecosystem and how responsive all the pools are. So if you guys are miners and you are mining, check out the pools, because it's always better to be in a pool than mine alone. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got about pools. So it looks like we got 18 minutes on the clock, which is good. It looks like we planned for the halving to hit at noon, and it kind of crept up on us and pushed a little out. So we still got 17 minutes left to go. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 6 minutes, which is also kind of crazy. Still have over 100 people here, which is great. Strong. Happy to see everyone. Happy to see everyone that's chatting around. I know that the Asian community will catch this stream later, and they will also have. I'll also put up translations later for everyone who needs other languages. So after the stream will be available in different languages for everyone. So feel free to share with communities around the world, because they will be able to translate everything we say, thanks to the power of technology, because that's what we're all here for.
Great. Thanks, Annalise. So we have Kevin here with us now, who will close us out after the halving in 17 minutes. But yeah, I guess I have a question for Kevin, because Kevin is the only person here who's been here longer than me, other than Jan, which I don't know. I don't know if Jan counts, because Jan is Jan. But I'm curious, Kevin. How do you feel after such a long time?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's so Matt messaged me and said, hey, how do you feel? It's been 6 years. And I'm just, honestly, like I'm a little bit shocked that it's been that long, because it certainly didn't feel like that. Every day is exciting. It's been quite a journey. So it's kind of like taking me back to like the early days of Nervos, right? When Matt said like, including like meeting Matt in San Francisco. It's and maybe just share like some of my sort of personal journey, both in crypto and Nervos. Right, I think. And I think it's the new year of 2018, or it may be like a few days before the new year in 2017, that I got a call from Terry. I've known Terry for a long time in other developer communities, and then say, hey, we're coming together and build this project. I can't remember it had a name yet at the time. It may have, or it may not. It's been a long time ago. So for me, even before Nervos, right? So I've been like being the Bitcoin sort of rabbit hole for many years. Try to mine a bunch of other coins you guys probably never heard of, and nobody knows about them nowadays. Mostly CPU mining. So really, interested in the space, and so I think when Terry called me, I was like, yeah, let's talk, and let's talk to the folks and talk to the team, and I think that's how I jumped on the board. Again, it's been so long. I feel like when I look back, every year there's been like a lot of up and downs, and then we grew with the industry. The industry had cycled very, very cyclical, and then coming to us, it's also very cyclical. There were periods when it was really tough to know where to go, like what to focus on, and also there were times where just so much things happening. It's also tough to know what to focus on and where to go. So, yeah, I felt like we together, learned a lot throughout the journey, right? And so I think, it's around the halving time and looking back, I think if I have to say, like, what are some of the best decisions that we made, and then what are some of the things that we've learned? I said the F word, did I? Oh, okay.
I think
Sorry.
William speaks his own language. I don't know what the word was. The bad word was.
Maybe it's a different. Yeah, many words start with F. So yeah, I kind of felt. I think one of the best things that we decided early on is that we're different, right? To bet on something very original, to bet on something that's not a cookie cutter approach, something not incremental innovation. Like, we could do an EVM plus X. It's funny because when I first joined Nervos, right, I got to understand the expertise and what everybody else built in the past. It's pretty obvious we could just do a EVM, and because that's already kind of in production in the different capacity that Jan and his team, cryptape, has built in the past. And then but we end up doing something very unique and from scratch. And I think it's looking back, it wasn't easy to get something very different and then very unfamiliar. I had many conversations with developers, users, and investors, projects in many capacity, right? So I think there's definitely a hurdle to let people understand what we do and how they build on Nervos, right? But on the other hand, if we don't focus on like a single cycle, like a single bull market, it's about every year, every 1 year and a half, and there's a bull market. Well, the duration of the bull market is like every year and a half. So if we don't focus on that, but look at long term, I think the way we're taking is the only way to go, right? And I'll probably expand this a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, consequently, like some of the biggest lessons we learned are actually along the same capacity. Is that often thinking about how we can take advantage of the current bull market run, how we can do meeting what people think we should do instead of do what we need to do. I have to say, I mean, this is again, like doing a crypto project is immensely different from anything else I've done in the past, right? And then having a token is very different from, just building like a venture fund startup and stuff like that. And then because, you get a lot of, it's cyclical, you get a lot of immense pressure from, everybody in the ecosystem to needing to show progress, needing to show momentum, right? And then there's a constant ticking price that's, rightfully, right? So that all the eyeballs will focus on, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so I think we, over the past many years, have also sort of, you know, made, I would say maybe miscalculations or extractions to like, instead of focusing on what we can be different, what we're gonna be, what's our own point of view, right? I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned from that. Yeah, but again, looking back, it's like just about everybody I talk to, and then like kind of know Nervos about, from the early days, or from like know Nervos network really well. And then everybody, I've been traveling a little bit recently, right? And everybody come to me and say, "Hey, you guys, it's amazing that you guys, did what you were able to do like this many years ago, and then can foresee a lot of things that, what everybody else is sort of spin their heads and try to sort of come to, and patches with existing solutions." And I've talked to projects that are basically reinventing Nervos, the CKB model, but put them into different contexts to meet just, big market demands, right? So those are the conversations that gave me a lot of confidence, feeling like, just being different, being, having a point of view, and then sort of being more focused, and that's really the way to go. And yeah, we're definitely playing for the long term. Yeah, again, it's a pretty general question, like how do I feel? I mean, over the 6 years, I would say so many up and down. It's so many. If you ask me like any moment, like a different pinpoint a month or different period, I'll give you very different answers. Yeah, but now, I mean, I'm feeling pretty optimistic, to be honest, because I genuinely see other people coming to Nervos, and that's kind of like it's a very it's a very funny experience. And then, when you walk into people that are working a totally different domain, and then, either talk about interoperability, either talk about intent, either talk about synchronous, either talk about account abstraction, and you can just walk into that party, and then without obviously knowing, I mean, for me at least, right? So I didn't know a lot of the conversation before in that domain, but I can speak in the conceptual level that just like people will feel like, wow, that's really insightful, right? A lot of it, I think, coming from the way that Nervos is built. But anyway, so I mean, that's sort of what gives me a lot of confidence and feeling, optimistic going on forward. And sure, we need to build a lot of tooling. We need to get ready, and then we need to, think about how we're going to meet the demands that are sort of rising on the horizon. But on the other hand, we build on this for, I don't know, Matt said 6 years, right? So we're 6 years ahead of many other, folk that are just realizing the problem and thinking about the solutions, where we're running in production for 4 years already. And that is just immense sort of advantage that we have. Yeah, I mean, we should switch to something happier, like 6 minutes to happy.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes
I'll
to go.
give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
just
real quick, because we're gonna do the resources. But you said that we're 6 years ahead of people who are just realizing the problem, and I just wanted to highlight, guys. RIS5 is just coming into the picture for a lot of these blockchain projects. That is something that we're gonna have an event on that actually next week. Cosmos just realized this. Polkadot just realizing this. Like, these are major chains who are like, wait a second, but we've been here all the time. Just one of the many things that is, I guess, superior about the CKB build, and hopefully as more people find the project organically, because again, we're not here to pump and dump. We're not here to be a Ponzi. We're here to like build the future. And that's all I had to say for that. But Matt, go ahead. I know we have to go into the resources soon.
Okay, yeah. So for one, big shout out to Shujay for Risk5 and CKB VM. As Kevin was, I guess as it was in the room as Kevin was wrapping up, it's quite dark and cold and lonely to be innovating in a way that you feel is right, but other people may not be seeing or care. So everyone who sticks to their guns, it means a lot when other people are seeing what you've been saying the whole time. But yeah, so let me quickly go through these. We got 3 minutes left, so somebody feel free to pull me away when we're going to count down. But yeah, Nervos resources, real quick. So of course, there's the website. So I think people were looking for a new website for a long, long time, and there is a new website now. This is also available to be changed on GitHub. So if there's some wording in here or a resource missing, something that it just bugs you that it's the way it is, feel free to propose a change on GitHub, talk about it, and yeah, there's a high likelihood that it'll be implemented. I think this is definitely community-driven endeavor. Twitter, of course, plenty of information on Twitter. There's lots of threads being created every week. Reddit, of course, big, I guess, again, big shout out to Kima and Lee. The Reddit is looking great. And yeah, there's a huge community on Reddit that is different from the community on Twitter or other channels. And yeah, YouTube, which a lot of people are on now, Discord, Telegram, Medium has kind of been deprecated, but it's there. Yeah, the pages of the website, feel free to go through there. GitHub is great. I know a lot of people that watch GitHub for changes. There are reports published every 2 weeks on the progress of the project. The doc site, always a work in progress, as docs are. The Explorer, which I'm sure people are familiar with. The node site, which we went through earlier, I can show you one more time. How are we looking on time? 329 nodes. All right.
We're still good. We still have. We're actually really close now. We should. Oh man, it just jumped 2 blocks on me. So if you actually want to look, let me bring up the console here.
Okay, so the number that we're looking for
at 30 seconds here.
No, we actually just Happy happening, everybody.
Congratulations.
That snuck up really quick. We had 5 or 6 blocks, and it just rocketed through those. It's actually already 5 blocks in now. So
right.
Yeah, that went really quick.
Oh man! All right, guys. So you gotta love technology. So we hit the halving, guys. We've officially halved. And
now
we have another 48 months until the next halving. Congratulations, Nervos Network. Happy birthday, CKB.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone stuck around. Yeah, it's just a long time to stream. Next time we'll stream for a whole 4 hours for the entire last epoch, because we'll have even more people to speak and to share what they're working on and to share what they think about the project. Yeah, I mean, 4 years is a very long time. And
did you want to finish up going through the resources?
Yeah. So the Nervos Talk Forum, that continues to be a great resource. Feel free to post technical discussions or DAO proposals here. There's also the Metaphoro page, which is actually where you'll vote on CKB Community Fund proposals. A big difference between Nervos or I guess CKB and any other chain is an in-protocol DAO. So eventually there can be a treasury turned on in protocol so that there's funding inevitably for public goods. And I don't know of any other chain that has this in protocol. Yep, companies in the ecosystem, so Cryptape, Nervina, Tunnel Vision Labs, Axon, Magic Base, DID, Yeah, so I think this sheet publicly available? Is there a place that people can navigate to this?
I don't think it's public, but we can make a public version. Ecosystem websites, those are kind of just websites that are, I guess, vouched for, that we can say like, hey, these are legit people. There are other projects in the ecosystem, but we can't say, we can't speak for their credibility. These are just some projects that we can say, hey, they're credible, they're real, they're not scams. Because I know there's a lot of things that pop up over time. And of course, I guess like the Nervos Nation CKB or NFT store will also can also go on this sheet, but we can make it public if you guys need a resource hub. On LinkedIn, we have our newsletter. I don't know if Matt had mentioned that, but that is where our newsletter goes out monthly. So if you guys have LinkedIn, feel free to sign up to receive the newsletter. We also do email blasts if you guys are subscribed to the emails. And I think that's just about it for resources.
Great. So I think now's a good time to turn the mic over to Jan if he has any thoughts or feelings or reflections after this huge milestone.
Yeah, I just want to say happy halving. We halved.
We did it. Great. Okay. Crying is okay, Kevin's. There have been many tears over the years. This is probably not the moment for it.
It's funny because in the early days when we think about, the first halving, it feels like just eternity, right?
Yeah.
But it I mean, we're here. So the next one will feel even faster, I think.
Yeah, there was
Go ahead.
There was a researcher suggested us to shorten the halving period to 2 years, so you don't wait that long, she said.
I'm sure anyone who's unplugging a miner today is grateful that it did not have after 2 years.
It seems very tight.
Well, like Caspa did this, where it's like they went through those cycles very quickly, and it feels like a faster project. I was watching Litecoin just had their third halving, and when I was watching the stream for that, I was thinking about like what does CKB look like after 12 years, and I think much more exciting than Litecoin, to be frank, and it's exciting to think about what we've seen being around for that long and having that much time for people to look at and innovate and try things out. And the sky is blue for CKB.
Nice.
Okay. Kevin.
I think
go ahead.
Any last minute comments, questions, concern, anything addressed, now would be the time. I think right before we wrap up, we should probably show that halving video once more, Matt, and then live the next 4 years until next time.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Let me check there's 99 things in this chat. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, people are excited.
You guys are chatty today. I like this. All roads lead to Nervos. Nice. Okay. Tequila. No tequila shots. Actually, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not somewhere in South America drinking a beer right now. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna lie.
From an idea. Everything starts from an idea. Some better than others. The really good ones create a movement, the growth of something special. Nervos started as a simple idea, but also a grand ambition. Successfully launching a proof-of-work network was a big step. As the first blocks were mined, Lena took her first breaths. Over the past 4 years, the network has grown socially and technically. From the first Epoch 1 to CKB's first halving. It's been a tough journey, but nevertheless, it's nothing we can't handle. As CKB's journey continues to prove itself worthy, a community of visionaries will be cheering it on from behind. CKB was built to withstand any obstacles, from quantum computers to the tragedy of the commons. CKB was built to outlive us, just as Satoshi envisioned with Bitcoin. As technology evolves, so will CKB. The road is a long and windy one, but in that time, CKB will continue to prove its resilience. It's not a matter of how fast, but making sure the finish line is reached. For now, CKB is still that courageous 4-year-old, dreaming of reaching the mountain's peak. Happy birthday, CKB, and to many more years to come.
Okay, Kevin, any thoughts to take us out?
You said it, right? Okay. Wait, can you guys hear? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think you just said it, right? Or just somebody said all the roads lead to Nervos. I mean, I'm kind of feeling this right now. So I don't, yeah, whether it's whether it's CKB VM, it's just I don't know. It's just, I look elsewhere. The problem everybody's trying to solve is like, hey, where do you have it? We just need to think about how we can package things together in a way that can solve a lot of these problems. Yeah, I mean, at least that's what that's Tunnel Vision Labs. That's what we've been thinking, and what we've been pushing, and how to take this unique sort of technical foundation and then package them in the right way and solve problems.
The one thing that drew me to CKB is that people had families, and like, so I maybe everyone knows by now, but like I organized Ethereum meetups for a couple years before discovering CKB, and CKB slowly and then quickly drew me away from Ethereum, and one of the reasons was the people have families and they weren't just degenerates in their early to mid 20s partying, and it just felt like more like how you build the financial system of tomorrow. But I think Kevin was pulled away by a little person for a second.
I guess that's nice, and that's something that I was talking about earlier when it comes to just the culture of pumping and dumping in crypto and the degeneracy that exists versus building solid, sound things that'll be here for the next 50 to 100 years. So
Yep.
I think we're transitioning into that now as we're being forced into it, right? We have all these ETFs that are kind of like coming out. We have all this regulation that has come out. There's a lot of crackdowns. And I think rule of thumb is the more solidified you build and the more wonderful we continue to make this project as a community, the better the outcome later will be. And that is what only thing I'm looking forward to, because it's a long, windy road, as we heard in that video, but we're here for the long time, and a good time. It'll be a good time.
All right. So I'll leave the mic open for Jan or Kevin to share anything else, but I think we're just at the end here.
We did have some questions from the YouTube. I guess I will address them quickly. That's funny. People are talking about the video. Why is it crawling on the ground, CKB? Why is it still in a bad place? CKB is a baby, guys. It's only 4 years. That's the metaphor with the video. CKB is a baby. It needs to grow up. I guess it's a toddler now. It was a baby. Now we're in the toddler phase, and this is where the toddler begins to run and do things. But we have to think about this as like I guess almost like a humanistic approach, baby steps.
Mhm.
Bitcoin, is 14, 15?
Almost 15, yeah.
15, yeah. Bitcoin's a adolescent, young adult.
Adolescent.
Bitcoin's doing its thing. Bitcoin has a job. We're going into Bitcoin being ETFs, so that's pretty much the analogy with that video there. Marketing. Oh man, you guys love these marketing questions. So I think for the most part, next year, 2024, we did quite a bit of marketing push this last quarter of 2023. And I think overall, we've seen some significant growth in terms of information being available to the community and circulating. For 2024, our main goal is definitely reaching developers, as Jan has said multiple times throughout the stream, because those are the people who kind of like matter within the space. It's not necessarily like, yes, the token holders and yes, the miners protecting the network, but in terms of making things usable for people, the developers are really where it comes in. And we've seen good projects come along. We've seen .bit. We've seen what they can do. We saw joy.id. These things will continue to expand. Tunnel Vision Labs with Kevin's project. Everyone is working internally, but we have to, I guess, maximize our efforts externally to continue to find sound developers and people who want to build cool things that aren't necessarily the same thing that you see on Ethereum that lost $1 billion overnight because it wasn't secure. We definitely don't want that. That is not something that we're rushing into. And finding good, technical, sophisticated developers does take time. So the next year, 2024, will definitely be dedicated towards, informing, bringing, and recruiting sophisticated developers who are actually interested in innovation, for lack of a better word. Jordan, I don't know if you want to shine any light on that. Jordan does not. Okay.
I know he might. I know he moves around his audio setup a bit, so he might be in the.
Yeah, my audio setups are always screwed up. Yes, I'm sorry. What were you asking me?
Oh, I was talking about developers and developer growth within for the goal for 2024, and I guess just recruiting sophisticated developers, because this stuff isn't easy. And just wondering if you had anything else to add to that.
Yeah. I mean, developer growth is always a tough one, especially in an ecosystem like this. I really wish that I could express easier the change that I've seen over just the last 3 years that I've been here. And it's coming up on 4 pretty soon, actually. I know I'm spinning up there. I don't know why. Discord is always screwed up on my computer. I've done everything for this thing, and it's now just spinning me.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
We can hear you,
but
no
anyway,
problem.
it's improved immensely from where it started back in 2020 to where it is today. And one of the biggest challenges that we have had is simply explaining these things to developers so that they understand what we're trying to do. And I think that part of that is that we were behind, or we were ahead of the times so far in the technology that people couldn't see what we were seeing. And I'm starting to have a little more success with that and actually talking to developers more recently. And it's actually because of the other ecosystems recognizing some of the same goals that we have, some of the same things that we already have had on CKB since 2019, and the other platforms are just starting to look at now. Their attention to it is actually benefiting us. It's becoming clear. It's something that I can now go to developers who are interested in the space and say, this thing, account abstraction that you're obsessing with, you know that we've had this since 2019 over here, right? And they light up and go, what? And and they want to know more about these things. So it's a very positive step that we're starting to see. And I hope that we can just continue this momentum into the future and really just use this to keep growing. Because this is really a unique project, especially in my eyes. It's not just another chain out there. This is the solution. This is the platform. To me, this is this is basically the beginning. You can't really get to any of these other places. Where we want to go, you can't get there with these other chains. You really need the newer solutions, the innovations that have all come from this platform. So, we can't see exactly what will happen in the future, but to me, this is the beginning here. And I really hope that we can push forward and get developers to recognize that, or at the very least, steal some of these ideas, because there's so many great ones here. There's no way that we can move into the future without them.
Yeah, I just want to add on the sentiment of like the solutions are here. I think usually when people hear that, their ears kind of perk up of like, oh, I'm being sold something. But the fact of the matter is the reason that we say these things and can say these things is because of following in the steps of Bitcoin and not following in the steps of Ethereum, like almost every other smart contract chain that people will think about. And there are a couple exceptions, and I think that's where you get into the nuances around the solutions that CKB offers. But overall, it's a really simple thing that there's a certain respect and faith in Bitcoin that CKB has that all of the household names just do not share that, and that's really the reason. And yeah, I share all these sentiments, and yeah, I think we've done a great job of really putting good information out there about CKB so more people can understand these things. And yeah, big shout out to everyone involved from the foundation side and community side in terms of really expanding our ability to scale this community and this the momentum of this because of the information that's out there. And now the focus turns a bit to doing that more directed toward people who are builders and can build things. And yeah, it's exciting to see where things go. And I think we know, after these 4 years, we know it's a long road. It takes a while. Progress is going to be slow, but we've seen things happen that I think that are reasons for excitement, and that we can show people. You show someone Joy ID and explain what it does, and someone gets it. So I'm confident. Yeah. Were there any other questions in chat? Okay. Is that it? Are we done?
Yeah, I think so. So, real quick, guys, I will be dropping the links to our next event, guys. It is on Risk 5, which is one of the hot topics in this space right now. I will be dropping it in all the group chats here. RSVP, join us. It's going to be, I think, next Wednesday, the Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. So, November 29th, we will be joined by, obviously, Nervos. Projects like Polkadot, Cosmos, Roosh, Risk Zero, all those guys will be joining us, and hopefully we can get the Risk 5 Foundation there. Initially, they showed interest. They just had their annual conference, so hopefully in the next few days we can get some confirmation for them, just to kind of talk about anything that I guess there's a couple correlations between the hardware side and the software side that has come up of Risk 5. Mostly they're focused on the hardware, but there's some interesting things that can come up with software, and we've seen Risk 5 become more important in the blockchain space. So hopefully we'll hear from them. But yeah, without further ado, thank you so much, guys, for attending the Halving Party. It's been a blast. Again, please follow the foundation on social media. Reach out if you have any questions. Please use all the resources that we've given you today to your advantage. And everyone here on stage and in the crowd, and everyone you've heard talk today is at your disposal, because we're only as strong as a project as we are as a community, because this is something that is open source. It is something that's community driven, and that's all it's going to ever be, because that was the intention that it started with. So yeah, thank you guys so much again for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks everyone for
Thanks
tuning
for
in.
having
Everyone
me.
who's